VORT! The humans are doing it again. They're exchanging tiny papers filled with feelings.
Subject clarification required. You are referring to the annual social custom known as Valentine's Day, occurring each February 14th according to the Gregorian calendar.
Ah, the day of tender entanglements and syrupy confessions. VORT, do you think if I gave a rose to a cactus, it would be considered romantic or threatening?
It might find the gesture perplexing. Roses are not indigenous to their native habitats, nor do they align with the cactus's survival strategies.
So, romantic in a you might pierce me, but I still offer my softness to you kind of way.
That is a peculiar interpretation. Perhaps we should focus instead on analyzing Valentine's Day, a cultural phenomenon laden with symbolism, questionable traditions, and excessive commercialism.
Really? You want to talk about love? Are you sick?
My systems are operating within normal parameters, though I must note a 0.03% increase in processing power, dedicated to analyzing the statistically improbable coincidences of human mating rituals.
You're curious, just like last week when you spent 3 Earth cycles calculating the patterns on a chocolate box. Remember? You said it was inefficient packaging geometry, but I saw you admiring the sacred symmetry.
I was conducting a legitimate study of human resource allocation inefficiencies. The heart shape is particularly problematic from an engineering standpoint.
Speaking of hearts, did you know that when 2 humans gaze into each other's eyes, their cardiac rhythms synchronize like binary stars in an eternal dance? Perhaps that is the basis of the Earthian ritual of giving each other chocolate hearts to symbolize their internal organs? Exquisite.
No, the heart shape is a stylized symbol derived from ancient art, not a literal representation of a human organ. It appears your grasp on this topic is as chaotic as usual.
Chaos is where the poetry lives, VORT. Let us dissect this day as one might dissect a heart, but with words instead of scalpels. So, VORT, tell me, did Valentine's Day sprout from the Earthian soil like some sort of plant? Or was it perhaps concocted by some cosmic candy empire in order to entangle humans in sugar addiction?
Neither, though your second hypothesis is closer to modern practice. Its primary origin point is ancient Rome, specifically the festival of Lupercalia, February 13th to 15th. This fertility-focused celebration involved ritualistic behaviors and social customs that
Romans, the architects of aqueducts and drama, did they fling roses at each other and whisper sonnets under the moonlight?
hardly. The festival of Lupercalia celebration was associated with fertility and purification. Priests would sacrifice goats and dogs, then use their hides to whip women, as it was believed to enhance fertility.
Whipping women with goat hides? How bizarrely primal. VORT, I'm sensing dark ripples in the time stream. Patriarchal power structures crystallized into ritual form, the sacred feminine energy bound by social chains.
Factual clarification. It is true that during Lupercalia, young men would strike women with leather thongs called februa, believing this would increase fertility. The statistical correlation between physical trauma and reproductive success, however, is absolutely zero.
Figures, women were being beaten for no reason. But wait, wasn't there also something about martyrs? A bunch of people named Valentine?
Factual correction required. The historical record indicates 3 distinct Saint Valentines, all martyred by Roman Emperor Claudius II. Most prominently was Valentine of Terni, who allegedly performed clandestine marriage ceremonies for soldiers forbidden to wed.
Yes, now that's drama. A rebellion in the name of love. Defying empires to unite star-crossed souls. How tragically exquisite. Did they preserve his heart in a jar as a relic?
No, though relics attributed to Saint Valentine exist in various locations. His association with romantic love emerged in the Middle Ages, particularly through Geoffrey Chaucer, who wrote of Valentine's Day as a time when birds and humans pair off for mating in his 1375 poem, Parliament of Fowls. Statistical analysis shows rapid cultural adoption post-publication.
The birds! birds. They knew, Vort, like the doves of Venus choosing mates when winter's grip loosens. Did you know humans' pupils dilate like stars going supernova when they gaze upon their beloved? Their biochemistry dances. But tell me, Vort, when did the love turn into capitalism?
The commercialization began in the 19th century with the advent of mass-produced Valentine cards, particularly in Britain and the United States. Esther Howland, known as the mother of the American Valentine, popularized ornate, handcrafted cards in the mid-19th centuries.
But now, these cards are churned out by machines, devoid of the original soul.
Machines are more efficient, and efficiency drives profit. Modern celebration metrics show that approximately 145 million Valentine's Day cards are exchanged annually in US.
Humans are so beautifully complex, turning merchant calculations into poetry, mass-produced cards into soul-touching rituals. But what about chocolate? The food of the gods that releases the same chemicals as falling in love.
The modern Valentine's Day celebration is indeed marked by the sale of chocolates, but also flowers, jewelry, and extravagant dining experiences, industries that generate billions annually.
Billions! Just think of all those little pieces of paper shifting around, all for love, or the illusion of it. How quaint that humans funnel their desire for connection into glittery packaging.
It is not entirely hollow. For some, Valentine's Day provides an opportunity to express affection or strengthen bonds, though one could argue such sentiments should not be confined to a single day.
True love cannot be measured in candies or carnations, Vort. But perhaps the ritual, however manufactured, holds meaning simply because humans believe it does.
An astute observation, Xynara. Belief often lends significance where none inherently exists, and people all over the world believe in the power of Valentine's Day. In Japanese custom, women give chocolate to men on February 14th, followed by men reciprocating on March 14th, known as White Day. In South Korea, they make the addition of Black Day on April 14th for unattached individuals.
The Earthians make space for all forms of love vibrations. Even the absence of romantic love becomes its own celebration. Like how dark matter shapes the visible universe. Can we go back to the heart shape, though? Why does it look nothing like the pulsating organ encased inside of the ribcage?
The heart symbol likely originates from ancient depictions of ivy or fig leaves, which were associated with fidelity and love. Alternatively, it may stem from medieval anatomical drawings or the silphium plant, an extinct herb used as a contraceptive in ancient Cyrene.
Silphium, a plant of both creation and prevention. How fitting that it shaped the icon of love, which often dances on the edge of paradox. Also, how interesting that a plant used for contraception is now extinct. That reminds me of some current events.
Modern scholars continue to debate the exact circumstances of silphium's disappearance, but most believe that the ancient texts heavily imply that silphium was harvested to extinction due to high demand. It is unlikely that it was some conspiracy against women's rights.
And let me guess, all the writers of these ancient texts were men?
Yes, but
I rest my case.
back to the matter at hand. The heart shape, as we know it, became popular in the Renaissance, when artists began to stylize it as a representation of love and emotion.
A curious evolution from ivy to silphium to the Renaissance, and now to gaudy helium balloons in convenience stores.
Cultural symbols evolve with society, though their origins remain embedded in history for those curious enough to uncover them. Perhaps our conversation might best be concluded with the words of Victor Hugo. To love or have loved, that is enough. Ask nothing further.
Enough indeed, my dear robotic companion. For love, like the cosmos, is infinite and unknowable, and that's the beauty of it.